Now, the Nelson Mandela Bay Metro Municipality is urging its residents to boil water before use, and this is due to high levels of E-coli in the water supply. The Metro says it has managed to stop the source of the contamination, but that the water quality is not yet up to standard.
The Metro traced the source of the E-coli contamination to its grassroots temporary treatment works. According to the Metro, the latest tests show the water is free of E-coli, but the quality of the water is still not sufficient.
I can confirm that one of the major problems was E. coli. As we speak here today, we can confirm that the samples and the results that we have received this morning from our lab does not have any E. coli in it. But again, I should mention that from a precautionary point of view, we have got 70% compliance in terms of other elements which we test in water, that is coliforms, which we would like again to ensure that we work on it, and probably we're going to get new samples tomorrow, and after we get those results and compliance of almost above 95%, we will then say water is safe to drink. The
Metro remains in the grip of a prolonged drought. The combined dam levels of its 5 supply dams is critically low at 16.98%. The municipality is also concerned about demand that remains too high. Andangonji, SABC News, Abeja.
So for more on this story, we're joined now by Joseph Tsatsire, who is the Acting Director for Water and Infrastructure at Nelson Mandela Bay Metro Municipality. Mr. Tsatsire, thanks so much for your time. Welcome to Morning Live.
Thank you very much. Good morning to your viewers.
So let's first start with an update regarding the latest with the E. coli levels in the water supply in the Nelson Mandela Bay Metro.
Ma'am, I can confirm that the E. coli level has is now complying to the municipal to the standards in terms of Sense 241. As rightfully put in terms of your insights, we have identified where the problem is. It was one of our temporary treatment works. We isolated the treatment works, and we have also added dosage of chemicals to actually kill the bacteria in the system. Our resampling has confirmed that the E. coli has been dealt with. There is no E. coli in our water. Currently, we're only left with coliforms, which needs to comply to about 98%. Currently, we are sitting at 70%. We'll be doing another resamples, and results going to be posted around 10 o'clock. We should be then be in a process to confirm that the water is safe to drink.
So you say that you have stopped the source of the contamination, which was at one of your treatment plants. What happened? What went wrong?
Ma'am, as I said initially, this was currently we are experiencing drought in the metro, and we have got water shortages in our reticulation system. Our consumption is about 278 megaliters on a daily basis, and the available production is 230. What then we devised an engineering solution to actually convert a reservoir into a temporary treating facility. And obviously, this is not a conventional way of treating water. And then it actually then suffered because of, the integrities with that temporary arrangement. And over time, the aspect that it actually deteriorated in terms of the quality of water that was coming out of that, because the sludge was actually accumulating at the bottom, and there was no effective way of actually taking it out of the system.
So given that this metro has been experiencing water problems for quite some time and obviously still dealing with it, can you guarantee the residents of Nelson Mandela Bay Metro that you now have found the problem and that there won't be a recurrence of such?
We are very confident that we have dealt with the problem, and I think we have also put systems in place to monitor consistently, all our treatment works in terms of our processes. We also have got environmental health that has put systems in place to continuously monitor water that is coming out of our treatment facilities and going into the reticulation. Samples are being done weekly, and if there is any anomalies in terms of the results coming out, we'll then take remedial action immediately.
Just in terms of reported health issues and how this has affected residents, are you able to give us an update on that?
At this point in time, there are investigations that are currently happening that will actually determine exactly how many people are affected. But at this point in time, there are allegations, or it's allegedly that, one person or one child has died from a hospital. We still need to ascertain, the factual facts around it. But investigation will actually reveal exactly to what extent, if there is any that has affected, the health of the citizens in the metro.
And as you say, that, of course, still has to be verified. But should the Nelson Mandela Bay Metro be held responsible for this particular death, if that proves to have been caused by this E-coli outbreak, and of course for the suffering of others who have drank this contaminated water?
Yeah, as I say, I think investigation will reveal that. Investigation will reveal that, and we will actually then take the necessary precautions for us to be able to say what is the way forward. But at this point in time, we are saying that let the investigation roll out, and we should be able then to determine the facts and actually then take a way forward from it.
Fair enough, Mr. Tsatsire. Let the investigation be done, but I'm asking whether anyone should be held accountable. Should the Metro be held accountable for what has happened here with the contamination of the drinking water of residents of the Metro?
So, from a regulatory point of view, systems do fail, and there is a protocol in terms of how we do communicate and ensure that residents are actually made aware. And some of those processes actually has happened, and the institution, understanding that we might need to respond to questions around, the questions you're asking about who must be held accountable. We have now partnered with the university to do an in-depth investigation and understand where systems has failed, and if there is anybody that's going to be held accountable, then it will be out of that process.
So just out of interest, how did you first become aware of the problem?
Come again?
How did you first become aware of the problem?
It's through our sampling regime. Our public health officials do sampling points, and they actually figured out there was contamination, and then they actually alerted the engineering department, and it is from that then we actually then inform the public.
Not from the public complaining about health issues first?
No. In terms of our vigorous, monitoring processes, we picked up, and previously there were complaints, obviously, from a quality perspective, they were dealt with, but in this time around, we picked up, through our sampling regime, and that was communicated, to the public of the Nelson Mandela.
So your final word, Mr. Tsatsire, to the residents of Nelson Mandela Bay Metro, is the water safe to drink right now?
As I say, that I'm just waiting for the confirmation of the results, which we're going to get mid-morning. We should be able then to announce to the residents that the water is safe to drink, after 10 o'clock or so. But I think we are confident that, the samples has been cleared. They comply, in terms of the standards, but we just need the confirmation of the results and ensure that, we communicate the right message to the residents. Meanwhile, we actually then encourage residents to continue to do the precautionary measures of actually boiling water to an extent that at 10 o'clock when we announce, we'll be on the clear.
So the answer then is no, the water is not safe to drink right now. You will tell the residents later. But thanks so much for your time all the same, Mr. Joseph Tsatsire, who is the Acting Director for Water Infrastructure at the Nelson Mandela Bay Metro Municipality. So please, if you're in that metro, continue boiling the water, continue following all safety protocols. The Metro will be making an announcement later this morning with regard to the safety of the drinking water.